important a child's life or someone being able to access an MP's speech?
This isn't going to save any lives.
Interesting. Obviously, this has sparked quite a freedom of speech row, and I think obviously what he's facing a backlash from, is basically, do you want to protect children online or not?
He would argue it's been unfairly characterised that he does want that, but it's the law has gone too far, Natasha.
Yeah, but I just actually don't think that he's managed to make the case.
Two-tier policing, 141 billion black hole. Starmer surrendering to Hamas. Farage just torched the lot. Watch before the establishment buries it.
This legislation doesn't stop that because there are things called VPNs, and it'll take you just pop your phone on within 45 seconds. You'll
obviously did an investigation. Seconds to do.
So that's the first problem. It doesn't actually deal with it, despite the best intentions. And if this legislation is designed to protect children, why under it are we setting up an elite police force to monitor what people say about illegal immigration and migrant hotels? Why already online are we seeing a speech from a member of parliament being censored? And by the way, why is it 16 and 17-year-olds now cannot connect with some news content directly, but they're going to get the vote?
So how would you seek to protect those vulnerable...
This legislation, just start with this. This legislation is the biggest threat to free, open debate and speech we've ever seen from a government.
You want safety online, don't you, Mr. Farage?
Yes, of course.
Which is more important, a child's life or someone being able to access an MP's speech?
This isn't going to save any lives.
Interesting. Obviously, this has sparked quite a freedom of speech row, and I think obviously what he's facing a backlash from, is basically, do you want to protect children online or not?
He would argue it's been unfairly characterised that he does want that, but it's the law has gone too far, Natasha.
Yeah, but I just actually don't think that he's managed to make the case that is exactly what this law is meant to be doing, and actually he's trying to highlight the cases of where freedom of speech is up for debate. Where I did think he had a point was where he's talking about 16 and 17-year-olds. The government want to give them the vote, but then they're not going to be able to see so-called harmful content online. And of course, the tech firms obviously do seem to be taking quite a strict approach to this, and we are seeing what is being dubbed censorship on the internet. Social media firms basically trying to create this blanket approach rather than actually sort of do the proper age verification checks, as he noted our LBC investigation has been looking into. So yeah, thought he was strong on that as well. But one thing where I did think he really got unstuck, magic money tree Nigel Farage.
Your sums don't add up. Spending commitments apparently total £141 billion a year.
Have you seen what's happened to our national finances since 2010? So it's quite comical to be told my sums don't add up. Do you know the Tories increased the national debt 2.5 times? We now have a Labour government where our borrowing requirement this year, every single month we get the figures, they're out. So, let us be clear. Just on one quick point.
Go on.
The two-child benefit. I was very clear that I thought British working people should be able to get that. And what I mean by that is not people coming into the country from overseas, not those that are unemployed, but people who are working on low wages where a couple both work. I think we should help them with tax credits.
I agree with you.
So let's be clear with that.
And
on the overall sums, let's just talk. Isn't it funny? We have massive arguments about £1.5 billion on winter fuel payments. Can we, can't we afford it? But isn't it funny? We're perfectly happy to pump another potentially 70 billion into HS2. Even the OBR, who are, effectively an instrument of government, really, even they admit that net zero is costing 30 billion a year. And, Nick, you can start going on and seeing massive cuts, massive savings that can be made.
Where are you going to pay for it? You cannot just keep saying that you are going to, scrap net zero, scrap HS2, and that we're going to be able to find the money for everything. He cannot announce new policy after new policy after new policy without actually saying how it's going to get paid for. We are living in a world where politicians repeatedly are making fantasy promises, and I really don't feel like it's a help.
I am sorry, but I can produce a 1,000-word commentary that is framed as a polemic against the left while also using the argumentative tone you've